AndyPierce. And here I am as a little boy. No, I'm not that old. 1925, right there. I'm Andy Pierce. I think I'm about 45 years old, and I'm a volunteer for Friends of the Uptown, which helps the Uptown Theatre in Chicago. Volunteers have been helping the building since about 1977, so that's before it closed in 1981. Friends of the Uptown was formed in 1998. I met longtime volunteers who had been working at the building for several years, and I am the guy who has been able to track those who share the interest through email and Facebook. We have about 12,000 friends on Facebook and about 600 email addresses, and what we do is advocate for the renovation and reuse of the building. There was a time when we would help clean up the building and give tours. In recent years, the owner has not allowed that, so we just try to keep the interest alive. There was some talk of building code violations. It was probably mostly dirty. So essentially volunteers went in when the building was closed and helped clean it up.
When the Uptown Theatre was purchased in 2008 by Jam Productions, the city required that there be some work done on the outside to shore up the outside to protect especially the terracotta. My understanding is that cost around $5 million. So that was done. There was also some work done on the inside for the heating system.
What needs to be done to reopen the Uptown and how much it will cost. Until one decides exactly what you want to use the building for, you've got 3 lobbies, massive auditorium. It's hard to do true cost estimates until you really get into a project. We know it'll be tens of millions. We don't know how many tens of millions, and it really depends on what you want it to do and what quality of restoration you want to have.
It could be similar to what we've done to other buildings, historic buildings in the Chicago area. You don't make it perfect. What you do is you leave some of those scars there just because that can actually add to the beauty of it. The main obstacles right now is getting all that funding in place because there's public dollars and there's private dollars. So that's the hard piece, and that's what we're working on.
I think entertainment works best through private ownership and private initiative. It is a big project, and it will make money for an owner at some point.
It's going to be a partnership because this is such a large task, and this theater may belong to Jam Productions, but in a sense it belongs to the entire country. So we're all going to be stepping up and helping. But Jam Productions is working very closely with the Department of Planning and Development to make sure that happens. Everyone is focused on making sure the Uptown Theatre is restored, and all parties are incredibly passionate. They may not be on the same page, but they are incredibly passionate to making sure that that Uptown Theatre does get done.
It's a magnificent building. People feel very strongly about it. I might even feel more strongly if I were old enough to have seen a show there. I'm not, okay? So the folks who did see a movie or a rock concert there, they feel very strongly about it and very passionate, and I know it'll mean a lot to them when Chicago gets it done.
So it will happen in our lifetime. I'm very confident.
When I began volunteering, the old-timers would say to me, I hope I live to see it. I hope I live to see it, because it's been 20 years for me, and I would have liked to have seen it within the first year or two, right? You want immediate gratification for your efforts. I used to give a lot of tours of the theater on Saturdays, and people would tell me later that they dreamed about it. I don't think you go in there and see it in the condition it's in now or in a restored condition and not dream about it, because it really is out of the ordinary. It's a lot of fantasy, and whether or not you like architecture or theater or whatever, I think it's going to have an impact on you when you walk in.
When I was told about the theater and when I toured the theater right after I was elected, I was told that I would be taken aback, that I would be surprised about how grand and beautiful it is. And so I came there with incredibly high expectations, and when I went into the building, it surpassed my expectations. It blew me away.